are you thinking, I could be a starter, I could be working out of the bullpen, you just don't know the role and you're just going to get ready?
Yeah, I mean, the whole offseason for me is just preparation for what could come. I'm not really too focused on what the role is right now. As long as my body feels good and arm feels good and we're going into camp healthy, then that's all that matters to me.
Have they told you anything about a possible role?
I haven't had any discussions about it yet.
Mentioned the preparation of whatever could happen. What does that preparation look like? What does your offseason look like?
I mean, a lot of it is just the training aspect of it. Just trying to consistently, show up every day, get my body ready, get my body, prepared for a heavier workload. That's usually how I train each and every off season. Even kind of coming into 21 as a reliever, I was preparing to be a starter, and so pretty much every off season looks like that for me. So I wouldn't say that this is any abnormal preparation at all. But coming into camp and doing my bullpens, my live BPs, and all that prior to camp is always pretty much the same.
How well that first half went for you last year? I mean, do you feel like you deserve another chance to start, that you should be in that rotation?
I mean, I don't think I ever deserve anything. I think that the best way I can put it is where am I best suited to help the team win? And, I think that I did that last year. And with what we were able to do kind of going into the postseason and whatnot, I think was kind of a testament to just, for me to try and be as malleable as possible for the team. So that's kind of how the approach has been. But, I definitely don't think I deserve anything, but I'm going to come in each and every time, just like I have the last 3 spring trainings to earn my spot.
Does it feel different being on a team now, 101 wins, and some people are saying World Series? I mean, in the past it's been, it has been a lot of respect, and the odds have always been low whether you guys are going to contend or not.
Yeah, I would say the environment's different. Within the clubhouse specifically, I think that, right now we have a group of guys that is so cohesive and everyone's on the same team and everyone's pulling for each other and supporting each other. And I think that, that's kind of been one of the biggest differences that I've seen from 21 to now, but also to just having the city of Baltimore rally around us. I think has also been a big difference for us. I think that when you have all the fans show up to the field every day and cheering us on like they did this last season, it makes it a lot more special. And I think that people underestimate just how much that means to us as the players, and I think that it continues to push us to want to be better, and I think that that's why you hear a lot of that in the discussion.
What do you think happened in the second half?
As far as what?
For you, what went wrong?
Honestly, I just had a couple bad starts. I kind of got out of whack, and for me, as a bigger guy, it's a little bit easier to fall out of whack, and it's a little bit harder to kind of get back into that timing. So, it's baseball though. You're going to go through ups and downs. You're going to go through peaks and valleys, and you're going to have some failure. You're going to have some success. And for me, it was all about how did I continue to approach that, and that's ultimately I would say that. For myself, I think that I handled it as good as I could have, and I think that the results kind of spoke for themselves in kind of that last leg. So and I continue to try and take that into this off season, and really trying to push that into this next season as well.
What can you learn and take away from last season? Maybe adjustments or anything you did differently this off season to combat those?
It's all about learning. I think that one of the things as an athlete that you really have to kind of take into account is really just the goods and bads, not trying to pick yourself apart too bad. I'm very hard on myself, but at the same time too, I hold myself to that high standard. And, I do that for a multitude of reasons, but I think for me, I just want to be the best that I can possibly be. And so, as I continue to learn more about myself and learn more about the game and, what everyone kind of needs out of me and, you know, what the team needs at that given specific time, then, you know, it helps me be able to prepare myself. So it's just a constant, you know, learning process.
How do you feel about this pitching staff as a whole? I mean, do you feel like it's in a good spot to take a step forward with guys who are still kind of gaining experience and so many guys who took big steps this past year?
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you look at the rotation with the pieces that we have, I think that you have a really good rotation. I think that, you know, we look at ourselves and we hold ourselves to a high standard. And I know I can speak for myself, I can speak for Bradish, and I can speak for Dean, and just kind of how I've seen them approach it as well. The uber competitiveness. You know, I'll throw Grayson in there as well, even though I hadn't got to see him as much. But over, you know, 2 seasons of playing with Dean and Bradish, you know, I've seen that uber competitiveness come out. And I think that for all of us, like, we hold ourselves to that such high standard that that's what has made all of us pretty successful in that starting role. But I think too that, you know, with the bullpen guys, like, I think the bullpen guys have a lot of grit. I mean, I'm sure that you've heard the stories of like CNL and Cano. Like, those guys went through a lot, and they have a lot of resiliency. And, you know, Danny Coulombe, same thing. Irvin, same thing. Tate, same thing. Like, I think that we underestimate just how much resiliency and just our everyday lives kind of, you know, goes into the baseball field. And I think that, you know, for all of us as a pitching staff as a whole, I mean, there's a lot of resiliency there, and I think that that's what made us so good last year, and I'm expecting us to, you know, continue to build on that this year.